Oh, man. Boy, are they ever trying their best to fucking confuse and confound the masses regarding... This one's in regards to the Syrian refugees that, the Canadian government brought to Canada under the pretense of being, so compassionate, right? I mean, anyone that pays any attention will look... I'll just look back to when people like myself or libertarian... True people that actually understand the philosophical principles and understand what liberty is all about. We were talking about the Syrians in compassionate, empathetic manner long before any of your central planners did. But what they realized is they're opportunist fucks, man. If there's one thing a fucking parasite or control freak or sociopath is, are opportunists. So all that runs through their mind is about how could we make this work to my advantage or the collective advantage for those my cohorts, right? And as we know, the whole reason, I said this even before all this shit came out. I made a video about it, so you'll see. It's like, yeah, and you know what? News alert. I'm not a psychic in any way, shape, or form. I have no exceptional capacities or capabilities, but I understand, because I have a logically consistent brain. So I understand how things work and how to correlate properly the cause and effect of certain actions or inactions. Headline, CBC News, Politics. Syrian refugees. 4 things MPs heard about the Liberal resettlement plan. Number 1, lack of affordable housing. So now they're talking about how there's a lack of affordable housing for these refugees coming to this country. I mean, if they're coming from a war-torn shithole where that's the thing too. It's like... can you imagine? It's people, NATO countries, Canada, the U.S., and England, and France, and all these fucks that are bombing the living fuck out of this country. But it's like they're pretending to be compassionate by bringing some of them, certain ones, a selected few, 25,000 in the grand scheme of things as far as the Syrian population is so minor it means nothing. But, like I said, they're opportunists. They recognize that certain of them, these 25,000... Hey, they might be good little serfs and slaves that'll take care of us if we bring them over here and do our biddings, maybe be our nannies, right? Whatever the fuck reason behind it is. And that's the case. You fucking know damn well that's the case. But it's not like they give a fuck about the Syrian refugees. I give a fuck about them, but that's the thing. If you care about the Syrian people, you don't just stop bombing the shit of their country, stop fucking with them, and allow them the capacity to stand up to any oppressive entity or force, whether it's, Assad or ISIS or any of these other fucksticks. Give them the capacity to stand up for themselves and they'll take care of that shit. But no, central planners like, oh, no, we got to be your masters. We can't let you stand up for yourself. We'll be your masters and we'll tell you what you should do. Fuckers. But think about it. Lack of affordable housing. Look in Canada. How many times have you seen the media so far? There's nobody, even Canadians that have come from 3, 4, 5 generations of Canadians living in this country, most of them in the younger ages, unless they're willing to sacrifice themselves for all of their until they're dead, unless they want to live under debt for all of eternity until they're fucking placed in their final resting place, most of them can't afford the housing either. And the only way they can is if they have to plunder or steal or manipulate. Think about it. But they're worried about the fucking lack of affordable housing for refugees that you brought here. So you brought them here and you can't afford to house them. Well, think how fucking dumb that is. Like I said, I had a whole video. If you look back through my videos about the Syrian refugee crisis, you'll see that I already made a video long before this shit even came to light about, if you're a family or a society which is just a pretense of a larger extension of family, if you can't even afford to fucking feed your own kids, don't bring fucking more into your fucking household if you can't even afford to feed your own fucking kids. If your own kids are starving to death, it's a really fucking stupid idea to bring more kids under your fucking roof. Dumbasses. Unless it's only dumb if that's the pretense, but it's smart if you just want to have more slaves to take care of you. That's the only time that makes any fucking sense, isn't it? Does that not make you scratch? Is that not a head scratching moment? It better be. What's the next one? Paying for travel costs. So when's the last time any government ever paid for your travel costs to go anywhere the fuck you wanted? Or, maybe you wanted to escape. I mean, I can personally tell you, governments actually destroyed my ability to live in my own home through collective punishment and preemptive punishment, mandatory minimums. They destroyed my capacity to even live in my own province, in my own home, where I was born and raised. I had to take care of all that shit myself, and they were like, well, fuck, hey, you had a couple drinks on your ATV, your four-wheeler, so too bad you broke the laws, so hey, you're on your own, motherfucker. Not only you have to, think about the bullshit I had to go through just for that. Paying for all these fucking ridiculous court costs and lawyers and all this fucking bullshit, and literally having my whole life stripped from me, but it's like, nobody was there to cover my fucking costs. I had to deal with that shit, and even after they took my license, my livelihood, my career, and everything away from me, I still had to figure it out on my own how the fuck I had to escape all that bullshit, which I did, which is why I'm one motherfucking strong individual. But what are we worrying about? Oh, let's pay for all their travel costs and all this fucking shit. So they don't give a fuck about me. This is the thing in Canada. We act like, oh, we're all one big happy family, are you? Canada's like one big happy family? Really? Well, yeah, don't have any. The cocksuckers, the control freaks, and sociopaths that run this fucking place don't give a fuck about me. They don't care. They'll destroy my life if I won't obey and yield to their edicts and their demands and be a good little serf or slave. They don't give a fuck. They'll throw me into the bus. They don't even give a fuck if I died on the streets tomorrow. And I know, because 4 fucking years has gone by. Nobody has ever offered me a dime. I'm still fighting to stand up and survive in this fucking under this oppressive state. But hey, let's worry about paying for the travel costs for people halfway around the planet, where those are the people in the government, the central planners in this country, are fucking bombing the living fuck out of these people. But like, yeah, this kind of shit infuriates me to no end, man. No fucking end. Let's go on to the next one, because gaps in dental care. The Canadian Dental Association urged the government to review the dental policies of the interim federal health program so the refugees can have immediate access to basic dental care. This is the CBC News, motherfuckers. Read the fucking article if you're fucking too dumb to recognize this shit. The Liberals restored expanded health care benefits for refugees and asylum seekers on April 1st, but according to Randall Curtis, president of the CDA, several concerns remain. But still, as a Canadian, and if you fucking live in this country and you've been born and raised in this country and you've had multiple successive generations that have been living in this country not paying. When I say paying, it's not like someone decide to, but being forced to pay for all this bullshit. When the fuck the last time you had any dental coverage? No such thing in Canada for the lowly fucking serfs and slaves in Canada. If you're a natural born citizen in Canada, or you've lived here and been subject to fucking theft and oppression for your whole life, you got no fucking, there's no such thing as the government taking care of your dental needs. I know this factually. Me personally. I've had to pay for everything I've ever had to fucking deal when it comes to dental on my own, at my own fucking dime. Nobody worries about my fucking teeth or my kids' teeth or the problems my kids. And I had one son that had to have some extensive dental work over his lifetime or his life so far. Who paid for that? Me and the wife. That's who. But what the fuck? But complete fucking strangers from fucking foreign countries. Oh, we're supposed to care about them. Fuck your own kids, right? Fuck my own. That's because, think about it. The people in government. Look around these cocksuckers in government. They're all a bunch of white motherfuckers, aren't they? For the most part, right? Do they give a fuck about their kids and their own offspring? No. But they're worried about these immigrants. What it is they don't, because they know that I won't fucking be their good little slave, but they'll take care of these fucks or give the pretense of caring about them, even though they don't pay for it. Not like anyone in government's going to pay for their dental care. They're just going to force you or I or the rest of us that are fucking poor, we're going to be forced to pay for them, even though we can't even afford to fucking pay for our own. Think of how fucked that shit is, motherfuckers. Think of how fucked up that is. We got to fucking pay for everyone else, and like I said, I'm a compassionate human being, but I got to take care of myself first, and my own fucking family first, before I have to fucking worry about taking care of everyone else. But I'm not even allowed to do that because I'm plundered and my life is dictated and I'm stolen from so much that I can't even afford to take care of my own. But I got to be forced to take care of everyone else. because they have priority over me. That's what your central planners, that's what your government overlords, that's what they think about you. That's what they think about me. Intense coordination, number 4. Immigration, refugees, and citizens in Canada will present something or sometime in the fall a report on what the government learned in resettling 25,000 people in a period of 4 months. David Malcolm, a senior immigration official, said one of the reasons the operation was successful was because it was the most intense interdepartmental coordination effort he'd ever seen. So yeah, like I said, you know, all the homeless people in Canada that live on the fucking streets, or those who are living or are in prison or caged for smoking a plant, or victimless crimes, or people like myself that have been fucked with just because of collective punishment, preemptive or mandatory minimum sentencing. Think about all the people that have been fucked with, and that's just a small segment. There's lots of us that have been fucked with constantly. Does anyone put any coordinated effort, not even on a small scale, to help us? None whatsoever. But the largest ever in Canada that this fucker can recognize of coordinated effort to help these Syrian refugees, well, yep, like I said, and it's not because they care about the Syrian refugees. Or even if you think that is the case, that means your government, your overlords, care about complete fucking strangers more than they ever care about you. No matter which way you look at this fucking scenario, that should be a light bulb moment real quickly for anyone that has fucking been born and raised in this fucking country to show you what your central planning overlords, what they think about you properly. They put on a front to your face, but behind the scenes, they don't give a fuck about you unless you're a good little serf or slave. If you're a good little serf or slave, they'll stroke your ego, they'll take care of you. But if you refuse to be a good little subject, serf, or slave, well, they'll just look for others to do that, to take your place, and they don't give a shit how detrimental that might be to your life or your livelihood or your economic success or your prosperity. Recognize and realize that is the reality of the world you live in today. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.